Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Sharice. I help Black men and women heal from trauma and toxic relationships. And today I want to talk with you about what I mean when I encourage women to date multiple people. Now, I've been thinking about the type of dating advice that's out there. And so I think it's important to consider who you're getting, like not just who you're getting dating advice from, but like their own dating story. There are women who got partnered in their 20s, 20, 21, 22, right? They already had their person by 25. Maybe they got married before 25, maybe right after 25, and they've only been with one person. They've never really even dated. They've just been with that one person. They basically have been with one, two, maybe three people in their entire lives. I don't think that person has the dating experience to be able to help you understand how to navigate dating. I do think that's where my sort of expertise comes in that I was out. I want to say the trenches. It wasn't the trenches, okay? I was out dating. I dated. I was trying to figure out. And for me, it's the trauma, right? The trauma background of picking the wrong person or being attracted to something that feels familiar when that something is not helpful for you. So my specific dating strategy is for women who have a similar background as me. If you already married, then girl, you don't even need to be here. But if you have, if you've always been rejected, right? I'm gonna do a separate video on that because I think that's a different mindset shift that needs to happen. That hasn't been a problem that I've experienced. My problem has been picking the person who is not compatible with me. Let's say that, right? Not necessarily abusive. I've only been with one person who was abusive, but picking a person who is not good for me. Just not good for me. Just not good in the long term for me. I've never had a problem getting dates. I've never had a problem getting guys to ask me out or being approached or being, somebody wanted to make a girlfriend. I've been engaged multiple times. Like that's never been a problem for me. And so if you're getting dates, but your goal here is, I just want to find this particular person. I just need a certain kind of guy. And I haven't really met the kind of guy that I would want to be in a relationship with, or the guys that I have been in a relationship with, like they've been fine, but I'm really looking for my forever person. I think this is the kind of video for you. Because the strategy of doing things this specific way, I think is helpful in maximizing your potential to be partnered with somebody that you actually want to brag about. Does that make sense? So, it's simple. And part of the framework I recommend is Torah Cents, her podcast. I don't recommend it fully, but because we're specifically talking about dating, and when I say dating, I mean going out of your house at a particular time and place to meet with a person to get to know them. I don't want to really touch on the coffee or not coffee date discourse, but I think you can't like talk about dating without also talking about what people are talking about online. In real life, this is not really a concern in real life. The people who argue about these things online are really just arguing about them online. In real life, these conversations are so simple. It's, hey, do you want to meet for coffee? Oh, actually, I don't drink coffee. Do you want to meet somewhere else? And the person either wants to meet you somewhere else or not. It literally starts and ends there. People make it out to be this whole big thing as if you're going back and forth with a person. You're not. Now, I've never had a man ask me on a coffee date. I've never in my life. I've dated. I've been on many first dates. I've never had a man ask me to go to a coffee shop on a first date. But I have been on coffee dates. Like I don't drink coffee, but for a time in my life when I was maximizing dating in a way I'm going to encourage you to do now, I specifically wanted to meet for 30, like I could walk away in 30 minutes without it being a big thing. I didn't have to spend a lot of time there getting ready. I didn't have to go far. I could see really what your energy, your vibe was. And if we wanted to extend the date, we could. If we wanted to plan a second date that was more of a formal date, we could. It was a strategy I chose at a specific point in my life. Do I recommend coffee dates? For online dating, I don't think I recommend coffee dates in general, but for online dating, I think it is a helpful strategy. What I recommend more than whether you go on a coffee date or not is being flexible. Girl, having so many rules when it comes to dating, I think is not helpful. You are going to be dealing with another human being, and human beings are different, and no one person is going to meet every single one of your standards. That's impossible. They're a human being, not a machine, and you don't get to pre-program what it is that you want. So all of that background, that's just like dating, just my dating philosophy. You need to be flexible when you're interacting with human beings. Now, I want you to have values that are very clear, standards that are very clear, your boundaries that are very clear. But rules, I want you to have few rules. Like the rules, I think, should focus more on safety, respect, like other, like outside of like those big things, like not so much. Although I have a rule that I think is just arbitrary. You will probably have an arbitrary rule too. I've talked about it in another video. I don't know if that video is live yet. I don't go on a second date with a man who doesn't wear real shoes. I mean, I've never done it. It's something I said to myself. I am so turned off by a man who shows up on a first date in sneakers that I never want to see you again. Unless we're going hiking. I did do a hiking first date. Then it's fine. But if we're going out to a place, a location, and you're wearing sneakers, right? That's arbitrary. It doesn't really mean anything aside from the kind of persona or personality that I would like my man to have. He likes real shoes, right? He likes real shoes. But I think that's arbitrary, because what if today he don't feel like wearing no real shoes and you ain't gonna go on a second date? All right, I think it's really, really silly, but I can, right? I'm also encouraging you to maybe only have one silly rule. If you start having his hair can do this and this gave me the ick, and you have like 10 things that give you the ick, girl, how are you even getting past 10 minutes in a date? Okay, because these are men. I'm just saying, they're men. Hopefully, decolonize their thinking, gotten out of the patriarchy, but still they're men. Okay, I can't like sugarcoat that part. They're men. Anyway, how I want you to date. Okay, right? We talked about what a date is. What does it mean to date multiple men? Now, similar to Torah Cents, I encourage like a 3-month period where you're vetting men. You don't ask anybody to be your boyfriend. Okay. I don't know if I need to say that. Do not ask them. I mean, if you are, because there's always exceptions to the rule, right? I watched a little video on, is it Instagram? I think it was a TV show though. So, not even real. But like a woman coming to a man saying, I think we should get married. They were together for a while. She was pregnant. I think we should get married. He's like, okay, right? If that's the dynamic in your relationship, or that's the kind of woman you want to be in your relationship, go on ahead. I'm assuming you want to take more of the feminine role in your relationship versus the masculine role. I do believe in partnerships. So we both come as whole people, bringing our strengths together to figure out like how we want to navigate this. I like-ish gender roles, but what's most important, I think, is people really having conversations about what they want their relationship to be like. And often gender roles don't, like strict gender roles don't really work for modern relationships. I think both people need to know how much money is coming in. Both people need to be averse in what is the vision for our life versus one person being the captain and running everything, and the other person being more like a dependent or a child that kind of just goes along. I think partnership, both of us coming together. So I want you to go on more than one date a week with a different person. I do not want you to do this for more than 3 months. What often happens with women is they like one person and want to give that one person all of their time and energy. One of the ways that you can focus on not doing that is getting to know different people at the same time. Now, I'm not saying be in a relationship with 3 people at the same time. I'm saying get to know. 2 weeks, you don't know a person. You've been on 2 or 3 dates, you don't know a person. If you've had, maybe like me, an extensive dating history, you're much quicker at figuring out what's a deal breaker for you, what works for you, what do you like to see, not like to see. So you're much better at excluding people, like getting rid of people and letting the cream rise to the top. But if you really don't have a lot of dating experience, then I think it's just very important for you to move very slowly. very slowly. Nobody should be asking you to be their girlfriend within 2 or 3 weeks. I need at least 5, 6 weeks. After a month, most people have an idea. If you all are on the same page, it shouldn't be quicker than a month. It really shouldn't be quicker than a month. Like, you need a certain amount of time spent on the phone, a certain amount of time spent in person, certain amount of time spent in different situations before you know that someone will be a good fit for you to be a boyfriend. And so if a man asks you at the 2 or 3 week mark, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. I just know this is it for me. I just like you so much, and I can really see our future with us together. Will you want to be my girlfriend? Because a man should ask. Men still ask. They will ask you. Sometimes if your lives overlap in friendships in a lot of different ways, they'll introduce you to somebody as their girlfriend, and then you can have a conversation after, like, you said my girlfriend? I'm my girlfriend? And then they might blush and say, yes, you're my girlfriend. I just see it. And then you get to agree or not. Like, just because he said it doesn't mean it's true. You get to agree. You decide whether you want to be in a relationship or not. Do not become anybody's girlfriend before a month unless you are like 40 plus. Yeah, maybe 40 plus. And even then, if you're not good at dating, I would say, no, don't do that. Get to know somebody. There's no harm in saying, well, I was hoping that we could get to know each other a little bit more. Like, after 2 months, I think it's a good time for people to get to the exclusion, where we're going to be exclusive phase. Longer than 3 months of consistently getting to know somebody, you talk to them every day, you are planning dates once or more a week, seeing each other pretty regularly, being involved in each other's lives. If 3 months have passed and they have not asked you to be their girlfriend, I approve for you to bring it up. But I want you to know, it's like a sign they're not really interested in you. Like, they're not. And a lot of women have a hard time with, but he's taking me out, right? Even I was bamboozled one time here in Atlanta. He's taking me out every week. We talk all the time. I've met his friends. I've met his mother. Did he ask you to be his girlfriend? No, he doesn't want you. Okay? He don't want you. He didn't say, but all these excuses. He doesn't want you. Not like that. I mean, he wants your time, your mind, your energy, your expertise, but he doesn't want you, like the whole you. And so the easier you learn, the more you will be able to move on quickly from something that's not working for you. So we're reviewing. You might be asking, like, what does that look like in practice, right? So I can give you the scenarios that I put for myself when I was actively dating and really wanted to meet people and maximize the getting to know you process. I would schedule. I don't really like doing things after work. I don't even like really work, but I don't like doing things on weekdays, like every week. It's just a lot for me. I like to do nothing. Okay. So maybe I would have a date schedule on a Wednesday or Thursday night, but just one. But once the weekend came, I would have 2 dates scheduled on Saturday, 1 date scheduled on Sunday. How do you find all these guys, Dr. Sharis? Where are you getting these online dating? Okay. Have I met men in real life who wanted to take me out and we went out? Yes. Have those become numbers where I get like 4 dates in a week? No, right? Met people at the park, met people like out and about, restaurants, that kind of thing. But I'm not meeting, first of all, I don't even go outside like that. But I do encourage you, you need to go outside. If you're going to use online dating, you also need to go outside. All the places that they're saying to meet men, whether you're doing your hobby, whether you're going to a bar, sit at the bar by yourself without your phone, or if you're going to bring a wingman, that they are there specifically to help you meet and interact with other people, like making eye contact with people so that they know you're interested. Maximize all of those social opportunities, go to all the networking things, really make yourself open and available for someone to approach you. But also, if you want to use online dating, because some people don't get approached in real life, maximize dating apps, right? You shouldn't be talking to somebody for more than a week. If you want to meet people in real life, you're listening to me. If you want to meet people in real life, go on real life dates. A man has a week to ask you out. Give him 48 hours to return your swipe or your like or whatever it is. Don't write then dissertations. Give a little quirky quip, sure, but that's about it. If you want to be the person driving the relationship, then drive the conversation. If you're not really interested in driving the whole relationship, if you're more like, I would like to be a part of a team, we need to know what he's working with. The problem with these men, I mean, The issue is that most of these men are not fit to be in a relationship. They don't know how to have conversations. They can't lead anything. Although I hope you don't want him to lead 100% of your life, because that's like having a dad. But to be able to take charge on certain things, you need to know by him showing you. And for him to show you, you have to give him the opportunity. So if you drive the conversation, you're never going to get to know if he can do it, if he has anything interesting to say, if there are any topics that are interesting or important to him. You have to make space for him to be able to do those things. You can do that right on the phone, in text. What does he say? If he's not saying anything, you don't say anything. And if there nothing is being said, then nothing is being said. You move on. So you schedule these dates. You let people know only if they ask. If you're seeing other people, he shouldn't ask, because duh, I am, aren't you? He shouldn't ask. If he does ask, he should be able to handle the truth. Now, if he gets all, I can't believe, and I need a woman to only date me, and I need to scrap, right? Move on. But this is the part where you need to know how quickly to move on from someone who is not a good fit for you. And when I talk about like dating is a numbers game, the example I give in my experience, just my experience, I have not validated this. This is anecdotal. I don't know what it's like. I especially don't know what it's like now, because I'm not dating. It would take, if we're using the number of 100, and I've literally talked to hundreds of men. Do you understand? Are you listening to me? I've literally talked to hundreds of men. If I talk to 100 men, I'm trying to remember my last, I think 10 of those would be a good conversation. Most of those, either they don't respond, or they don't engage, or they're not interesting. So it doesn't get beyond the how are you. A lot of people exit out themselves because they're not even able to have a conversation. Of the ones that are able to have a conversation, I don't know how many, maybe 50, right? We cut it down to half that are able to have a conversation that I like, maybe 10. I'm smarter than most people. So it might be easier for you because you might not have as high a bar as I do when it comes to intellect. Of the 10, maybe I go on a date with 5 or 3. And of the 3, maybe I want to go on a second date with 1 or 2. When I say dating is a numbers game. Now, part of the problem with online dating is most of the men are not fit to be in a relationship. So they exclude themselves. There are just so many of them on online dating. And I don't know if it's more now, because I don't know. People say a lot of negative things about dating apps now. I think if you're strategic and you don't allow yourself to be like strict or rigid about how fast you have to meet somebody, like I want this to become just like a part of your life for the 3 months. I'm going on a lot of first dates at this point. I'm just getting to know myself, getting to know other people. I want you to experiment with different professions, different heights of men, different races of men. I do. Even if you don't want to date a white man, even if you're like, I would never, ew, ew, yuck, I would never. I want you to just experience it. See what he's like as a man, because I promise you, men are men. Now, the racial part adds another layer to men, but they're men. They're all men. I do like the phrase of go where you're loved. And so I encourage people to date outside their culture, date outside their race. Just do it once. I don't even need you to do it 3 times. In a lot of things in psychology, we say try it 3 times before you give up. Just do it once. Go on a date with a white man, go on a date with an Indian man, go on a date with a black man from a different culture. Just do something different. See what it's like planning that with him. That man does not represent his whole race. You understand that? But it's just a different experience for you. See what it's like, how you feel being with, like, linked with somebody. People are watching you. How does it feel to be in public with a person who's of a different race or culture, and have fun? Dating should be fun. It should be an experience, getting to know. I hope you plan fun dates. Not that I don't recommend hiking dates. I am a brat when I'm hot and sweaty. So I really should never have ever gone on hiking dates. I've done it before a few times. I'm never doing it again. I'm just miserable when I'm like clammy, and I'm not a fun person to be around. And so, it's a good experience for them to see what I'm like when I'm not in a good mood and irritable, but it doesn't really make for a fun date. Coffee date, if you can wrap your mind around getting to know someone in that context, sure. I think I would be cautious about a man asking you that. Like, get his philosophy on it first. How busy is he? Is it really he doesn't think you're worth his time, or is it not? But it doesn't always mean one thing, right? Humans, anything a human does can never only mean one thing, because there are men who are millionaires who will spend $300 on a date and it means nothing to them, right? Torah Cents, I think, covers that well too, that women give meanings to things that men do that don't mean anything. They don't mean nothing. You're making it mean something and it doesn't mean anything. So I hope this was helpful. This is a topic I've really wanted to cover for a while, so I feel like I was just overly excited getting it out. Let me know if you want a follow-up on dating multiple people. You know, around the 3-month mark, you should be picking somebody who rises to the top, or taking a break from dating if there is nobody that you're interested in. I do think doing it them in spurts, like not making the a year-long marathon of dates, unless you are doing it maybe more casually, like 2 dates a month or something with different people, then I could see you probably being able to maintain that for a year. But if you want to go on dates, girl, go multiple dates, then I think a period of time, like I was doing that every other week for like 2 months. Do that. See what it's like. See what it's like, the kind of person that is interested in you, who wants, who's asking you on a second date. Is it everybody? Because, girl, everybody wants to go on a second date with me. I'm amazing. No doubt. I am amazing. But what's really your options? Because people do have a skewed sense of what their options are. Yeah, let me know. If you like this video, give it a like. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And thank you for watching.